0-1 versus 0-1. Neither team wants to go 0-2. Remember, no semifinals this year, so we're going to play 6 regular season games, and then that will slot the teams into the championship. So whoever loses this game is going to be definitely behind the 8 ball as far as making that championship game goes.
That's right. As you noted, there are now 6 regular season games instead of 4. Each team's going to play the other team twice, so a chance for revenge for whoever loses. But let's find out who that's going to be and who's going to win. We've got Kitty Carnage on the line. She's jamming against your lead jammer right now, Molotov Impale, taking the lead for the
lead jammer, Electra Blue.
And that's right, of course, the Hustlers in purple with silver, Honky Tonk Heartbreakers in blue, and Gingham.
Kitty Carnage having to recycle to the back of the pack to avoid a track cut. Meanwhile, 5 points awarded for Molotov Impale.
Hustlers coming out strong in this first jam, Chip Queso. First 5 points on the board.
Molotov trying to get past Rudy Ring and new addition, Donkashame, transfer from Oklahoma City, now playing with the Heartbreakers. Getting through for 5 more points is Molotov Impale.
Donkashame, darling.
Molotov Impale calling it off. 3 more points awarded. No points for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. Is 1 jam under our belt, 13-0, Electra Blue.
That's right, Chip Queso. Of course, both of these teams are having a little rotation in their rosters recently. Well, brand new players for both teams. And of course, we have some old favorites like number 101 Sprocket for the Hustlers up against Barbie Got Back for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers.
Trying to get that lead jammer status for the first time, and that goes to Barbie Got Back for the Heartbreakers. No one in the penalty box as of yet, as you can see. Very few penalties in that first game as that jam is called. Once again, we're glad that you have joined us here at the Austin Convention Center. Bout number 2, historic season number 12 for the Texas Roller Girls.
That's right, Chip. 12 seasons, many rosters later. We have rotating all the time. And if you don't want to join the big league, you can skate rec league. But right now, Deep Dish Nitsa for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers up against Malice.
You are correct. Malice gets pushed down and then inside line, she gets lead jammer. These teams have traded off lead jammer so far into jam number 3. Deep Dish Nitsa coming out of the Rec and Roller Derby League, as well as Malice coming out of the Rec League. She gets through, gets a little bit of an apex jump for a 5-point grand slam.
Hustlers, of course, taking a devastating loss the first bout this season, needs this win. Coming in very strong in this first half. Let's see if they can make it all the way through, Chip.
Up in the front, getting more points is Malice, 5 more to be exact. Meanwhile, good defense on Deep Dish Nitsa, who has not made her initial pass through the pack as of yet. Finally getting through for her initial pass. In control still and calling it off is Malice from the Hustlers.
But Malice, not before putting 24 points on the board for the Hustlers. Unfortunately, still not enough points for of course we do need a power jam for the Zen folks to give us any vouchers. Sorry, premium section. These new rules, we might have to change that up a bit.
On the line, we've got Sideshow Ho for the Heartbreakers and number 108 for the Hustlers, Fifi Namanon. Sideshow having to avoid an inside track cut. Fifi Nomenon at the front of the pack, trying to get through. Getting past Kitty Carnage. She does. Lee Jammer. Hustlers. Fifi Nomenon around the outside, getting through. 5-point grand slam. Multiplayer block being called on number 56 for the Hustlers. Of course, that is bad influence. She'll spend 30 seconds in the penalty box.
So 1 point on the board for, 1 more point for the Hustlers. Now we have 31 for the Hustlers. No points for the Heartbreakers just yet.
And it looks like we've got an illegal procedure call. That is going to Sideshow Ho, the jammer for the Heartbreakers.
And Sideshow Ho coming here from all the way from down under, or Oz as they like to call it, Australian roller derby.
So the Hustlers decide to put Fifi Nomenon again in her second rotation. She gets lead jammer by the time she gets to turn 1. Jamming unopposed for the Hustlers, who are up 31-0. Four points, does not get that 5th point for an improper pass. Now she gets 5-point grand slam for the Hustlers. Sideshow Ho out of the penalty box and through her first pass.
We have seen, of course, very few penalties. Having said that, of course, that is DeBella DeBall sitting in the sit bin for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers, but only for 30 seconds. A lot can happen in that 30 seconds, of course. I'd like to give a shout out for the Hustler sponsor, Central Metro Realty, bringing you the best in Austin real estate.
Barbie got back, going up against Malice in this 6th jam here. 22 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Malice getting through for lead jammer. Hustlers with a dominating first period, sliding in the middle of the track and back out as Barbie got back. That is going to be a track cut. Power jam Hustlers.
And that's right, Chip. They don't necessarily need these points, but why not build a big lead at the very beginning of the period, setting yourself up for a little, I don't know, a little relaxation, may I say. And then Malice getting through for 5 more points. 50 now for the Hustlers. Honky Tonk Heartbreakers have yet to score.
Malice in control, 4-wall for the Heartbreakers. Pushing up towards Ruby Ring and DeBella DeBall. Barbie got back out of the penalty box and out in front, but she's not the lead jammer. 5 points for Malice. That jam is called.
I think the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers need more cowbell. Mary Lou Threaten, more cowbell, please.
Yeah, where are the Honky Tonk Heartbreaker fans?
There they are. Wranglers, we ought to tell them what their slogan is.
It's Glitter Done. And here we go into jam number 7. Sprocket going up against Kitty Carnage. Lead jammer goes to Kitty Carnage as both jammers are neck and neck. Kitty Carnage calling off that jam, so some nice defensive jamming by the Hustlers. Kara Sprocket. Molotov Impale lining up for her second rotation. Shiner Blonde for her first rotation for the Heartbreakers. Shiner Blonde trying to take it inside line. She does. She gets lead jammer for the Heartbreakers. Will they get points on the board as Molotov and Pale saves and pounds on one skate. A testament of the amazing footwork by this league. Pack being stretched out. Shiner Blonde getting through. 4 points. First point on the board for the Heartbreakers. Molotov and Pale also getting 4 points. Track cut penalty forced on Shiner Blonde. That is going to relinquish lead jammer. We are going to go the full 2 minutes. Power Jam Hustlers.
That's right, Chip, but Shiner, of course, only has to serve 30 seconds of those 2 minutes. With our new shorter penalties.
Elbow penalty called on Molotov and Pale. She is also forearm, excuse me. She is going to go to the penalty box. Of course, when the first jammer sits, as soon as the second jammer sits, she is released. The second jammer in only has to serve the same amount of time as the first jammer. Through and story 4 more points. Excuse me, 5-point grand slam for Shiner Blonde. 9 points on the board. Shiner Blonde having to re-engage in the back of the pack just as that jam is called. Not getting a track cut penalty. Another one of the enhancements on some of the rules that I'm sure were mentioned in the first bout. 30-second penalties being the biggest change. Also, track cut penalties having some change to them. Look in your program for more instruction on what those penalties are and the rules as we go into the next jam. Malice is your jammer, tiptoeing to lead jam for the Hustlers. Barbie Got Back is the jammer for the Heartbreakers.
And that is Fender Bender heading to the penalty box for the Hot Rod Honeys. 5 points. Grand slam for Malice for the Hustlers.
Malice calling off that jam as Barbie Got Back, tried to knock her out of bounds. Smart move, 12-67 in favor of the Hustlers, Electra Blue.
That's right, Chip, again. All right, so where are all the Hustler fans out there in the audience? All right, that's respectable. All right, how about the Honky Tonk Heartbreaker fans?
Heading into the next jam, Kitty Carnage.
Very good arm. Where will it go?
Kitty Carnage is your lead jammer for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. Jammer for the Hustlers, and finally through her initial pass is Sprocket. Kitty Carnage through for 4 points. Me shoving long time for a direction of play penalty. And of course, Electra Blue, direction of play penalty is one of the most difficult for the crowd to understand. You must always be hitting another player in derby direction, which means counterclockwise around the track. if they are going clockwise or hitting them in the opposite direction of derby play, that is considered a direction of play penalty.
That's correct, Chip Queso. And of course, that has been refined and defined. That is 108 Fifi Nana on the line for the Hustlers and against.
That is Shiner Blonde for the Heartbreakers. A lot of new faces on the Heartbreakers and a lead jammer in Shiner Blonde. Maybe the momentum shift that the Heartbreakers need as Fifi Namanon is being held back by 3 while she finally makes her way through. And calling off the jam.
With vigor, I might add, Chip Queso. 24 points now on the board for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. The Hustlers.
All right, into the next jam, jam number 12. Malice is the jammer for the Hustlers. Kitty Carnage is the jammer for the Heartbreakers. Track cut penalty on the jammer. And I'm sorry, that was 9 lives as the jammer, not Kitty Carnage. My apologies. So in the penalty box, 9 lives, Power Jam Hustlers, Malice, 5 points. Five more points for the Hustlers. And 5 more points so far in this jam for Malice, 15 points. 12 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in period number 1. 9 lives out of the penalty box at the front of the pack, taking on Bitter Cup. Staying inbound, scoring 5 points. Malice at a 20-point jam so far.
All right, well, all the skaters coming off the track again, we have noticed this new rule set that the game is going a lot quicker, which means these skaters are working twice as hard as they used to. Not that that wasn't hard enough. And of course, to stay fit, we're skating 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week. Chip Queso, you might be familiar with this new skating thing.
Maybe so, but it is about the action on the track as now Kitty Carnage is in for the Heartbreakers, going up against Molotov and Kale for the Hustlers. 11 minutes, 25 seconds to go. A 70-point difference. Lead jammer goes to Kitty Carnage. Both jammers neck and neck. That jam is called.
And no points on the board for either team. Now the Hustlers with 94, Honky Tonk Heartbreakers with 24. Still lots of time left in this first half, 11 minutes, 70-point deficit. But of course, we've seen pretty big power jams. Again, this 30-second penalty is sort of stifling those big power jams for us here. Sprocket now lining up for the Hustlers. That is Shiner Blonde for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers.
Penalty box empty. Sprocket knocked to the inside, but by DeBella DeBall. Shiner Blonde has had some success, and she has yet more success. Lead jammer for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. She has definitely been the jammer force so far for the ladies in blue and gold. DeBelle the ball, having her way with Sprocket. Shiner Blonde gets through, 5-point grand slam. Sprocket hit to the inside by Sideshow Ho. Shiner Blonde also getting knocked out, having to re-engage from the back of the pack. Initial pass for Sprocket. Calling off the jam is Shiner Blonde. 4 points for the Heartbreakers. And we've got a timeout.
So now we have a moment to take a little time out. I think we're going to take some time to say hello to some of our big birthdays that we've got. All right, so of course, we have the 3 junior derby skaters who have birthdays this week. That's Live and Let Die, Snack Attack, and the Carminator. But in other news, oh look, there's Happy Birthday Carmen as on the big screen. And Happy Birthday Caden. And there's Emily, happy birthday. And that is Brad, otherwise known as Mr. Or the Muffin Man, Mr. Tumble, Mr. Caliber, Bree, happy birthday, Bree.
And oh, Electra Blue's birthday. We're celebrating. You can join her at the Jackalope a little bit later as we get the next jam started. Electra Blue turning 26. As Malice turning lead jammer into a regular thing for the Hustlers. Meanwhile, the jammer for the Heartbreakers is Barbie Got Back. Multiplayer block called off Phoebe Nomenon. She is going to spend 30 seconds in the box. And that jam is called.
Now, if you have a birthday coming up, April 19th of next month is our next bout. Email marketing@texasrollergirls.org, and you too can have your name in lights. I was not expecting that. I'm only 26, but my birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, when you'll be 27?
Yes, right. I'll be 27 tomorrow. Again.
First rotation on the line, number 9, Babe Ruthless for the Hustlers, up against Kitty Carnage for the Heartbreakers. Lead jammer is Kitty Carnage. Both jammers through. Sideshow Ho to the penalty box for the Heartbreakers. Jammer on jammer action. Points awarded to both jammers. 4-4 to be exact. That jam is called. 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go. 102 to 41 in favor of the Hustlers.
So, of course, the Hustlers, sponsored this season by Central Metro Realty, bringing you the best in Austin real estate and buying and renting. Check them out at centralmetro.com. And the Texas Roller Girls are powered by AT&T Uverse with Giga Power now, Chip.
On the line, Shiner Blonde for another rotation. First time on the line for the Hustlers. Jamming is Me Shovey Long Time. Me Shovey gets engaged, out of the pack, into the back, trying to get through up front. Low block penalty on Ring. DeBelle the ball, trying to take on your lead jammer is Me Shovey Long Time. Meanwhile, Shiner Blood has not got through the pack. She is taking on up front, keeping on. As that jam is called, Electra Blue.
That's right, called without putting more points on the board. The Hustlers now 103, Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. Oh, sorry, Hustlers 104, Heartbreakers with 41, 6 minutes in this first half. And we've seen some interesting things, Chip Queso. A little power play back and forth here with the Hustlers and the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. And Misha up against a very strong Heartbreaker lineup, bulldozing her way through.
No doubt about it. Malice, number 21 for the Hustlers. Barbie got back. Number 230 for the Heartbreakers. Lead jammer once again, Malice. Barbie got back, eligible for points. In control is Malice. (108 to 41 in favor of the Hustlers.
Malice doing a big all off the jam. 3 points on the board for the Hustlers that last jam. 2 for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. Hustlers now 111. Heartbreakers with 43, Chip.
And Electra, I must say, in between the jams, if you're dancing a little bit in your seat, that's because of DJ Ed Zeppelin, also owner of Scary Cold AC. Give it up for DJ Ed Zeppelin.
And of course, you can hear us now. That's thanks to our anthem singer, Dave Wolf, and Salem Soundstage.
Next jam number 19, Kitty Carnage, up against lead jammer Molotov Impale. Molotov Impale, also a Executioner. And that is the end of jam number 19. Just under 4 minutes to go. 43 to 113. Electra Blue.
Thank goodness these girls are powered by kind, healthy snacks, able to get them through these hard-hitting jams.
I love me some kind, healthy snacks.
Especially when chased down with an ice-cold Lone Star beer.
Yes, ma'am. Shiner Blonde on the line for the Heartbreakers. Lead jammer is Fifi Phenomenon.
And that's 2 more points on the board for the Hustlers. Now at 116, 43 for the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers. Skaters lining up. Shorter penalties, a lot more gameplay. We see these skaters in the same rotations over and over again, Chip Queso. And of course, the clarification on some of the mostly called penalties seem to have dissipated a little bit, tighten it up a bit.
I would say so. Malice back on the line for the Hustlers. Going up the first rotation against the ball. Lead jammer goes to Malice. Malice, the everlasting gobstopper of jammers for the Hustlers. The ball also through eligible for points, but in control are the Hustlers. Blue and Spider, critical sass, trying to hold back Malice. They cannot. Jam called, but 4 points awarded to both jammers.
That's right, of course. 4 whistles from the referee means that you can still continue to stay and score points until that final 4th whistle. It's not a lot of time, but sometimes it's just enough to sneak on through, which you just saw the Bella de Ball do. 4-4 that last run. 120 Hustlers, 47 for the Heartbreakers, and just under 2 minutes left, Chip Queso.
And of course, we always end on the jam clock, never on the period clock. Jams can be as long as 2 minutes. In control will be a lead jammer, Fifi Phenomenon, going up against Kitty Carnage. Lee Jammer goes to Kitty Carnage. Hot on her heels is Phoebe Phenomenon. Nobody in the penalty box. Phoebe Phenomenon through. Kitty Carnage also through. 4-4 per skater. Kitty Carnage was about a quarter track back, so she decided to call off that jam.
So we will take a moment and reset now, of course, with new member of the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers, Shiner Blonde, on the line, holding her own against another new member of the Hustlers, number 21, Malice.
Not only did we get hugs from the Jammers on the line, but now we have old school derbiest 30 feet up at the pit line are the two packs. Rarely seen these days, but still sound walls as Malice easily gets through that wall. She is on fire for the Hustlers. Malice having a hard time against it. Then a big hit from Critical Sass, recently from Oklahoma, joining the Heartbreakers. And calling off the jam is Malice. And ladies and gentlemen, that is halftime. Electric Blue.
That is halftime. I want to say Critical Sass, showing a little sass against Malice. Now 127 for the Hustlers, Honky Tonk Heartbreakers 51. We have 9 minutes to think about what just happened, and the teams do too. We should see maybe an interesting change coming up.
All about adjustment at halftime. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break here.